Hey, it's Chris, and I want to say thank you to our veterans, active duty military, and first responders for serving our great nation. You're listening to The Chris Carlisle Show, hosted by me, Chris Carlisle. And welcome to the Chris Carlisle Show. I'm Chris, by the way. I'm not an influencer, by the way, and I'm not trying to be one. This is a society and culture podcast. They found countless pottery offerings that were left by ancient worshippers in Greece. They consisted of 2,000 figurines of women and children. $570 million in grants is supposed to get rid of dozens of dangerous roller crossings around the U.S. Europe is being squeezed by food prices. A new heart transplant method might expand the donor field. Pat Robertson passed away at the age of 93. He was a preacher, host of the 700 Club, and ran for president in 1988. He built CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network, from a Virginia TV station. Wrestler the Iron Sheik passed away at the age of 81. He was really from Iran and was a former WWF champion and a WWE Hall of Famer inducted in 2005. The Unabomber Ted Kaczynski died in prison at also aged 81. He was a mathematician who became a recluse, sending bombs for 17 years. He was called the Unabomber because the early bombs were sent to universities. The bombs killed 3 and injured 23. He was captured in 1996 and sentenced to life in prison in 1998. It's likely he committed suicide. There are some youth baseball fans in New Jersey who have been sentenced to do the job themselves after they yelled at umpires. Do the job of umpiring themselves after they yelled at umpires. The Denver Nuggets won the NBA championship by beating the Miami Heat 94-89 in Game 5, winning the series 4 games to 1. They were a chartered ABA team. They were originally called the Rockets, changed to the Nuggets in 1974 prior to the ABA-NBA merger because there was already a team called Rockets in the NBA, the Houston Rockets. And they joined the NBA in 1976 when the ABA and NBA merged. In hockey, the Vegas Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup. So there are 2 brand new champions in the NBA and the NHL. They beat the Florida Panthers 9-3 in Game 5, winning the series 4 games to 1 for their first Stanley Cup. through an expansion franchise that started playing in 2017. The Florida Panthers play in the Miami area, so Miami had two teams lose to teams winning championships for the first time. Pat Sajak announced he's retiring from the Wheel of Fortune after only almost 40 years after the upcoming season. Actor Treat Williams got killed in a motorcycle wreck in Vermont Tuesday. He was 71. With consumer prices low last month in the U.S., Wednesday was Flag Day in the U.S. It became a national holiday in 1949. I saw on YouTube a video about the top 10 sci-fi movies of the 1950s. It's on the Sci-Fi and More YouTube channel, and here they are. The Blob with Steve McQueen from 1958 is number 10. The original Journey to the Center of the Earth, based on the Jules Verne novel with James Mason and Pat Boone from 1959, is number 9. I said original. There may be another one that might have been made before that. Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Kevin McCarthy is number 8. The actor, not the Speaker of the House. When Worlds Collide from 1951 is number 7. One of the actors in it was John Lloyd, who played the Doctor in the first Star Trek pilot, The Cage. He was also the grandfather on Give Me a Break. The original Godzilla, made in Japan from 1954, is number 6. I saw both remakes in the theaters, by the way. The first one in 1998 with Matthew Broderick, and the one with Bryan Cranston and Elizabeth Olsen in theaters a few years ago, actually. Them with James Arness, James Whitmore, and Fess Parker from 1954 is number 5. It's about giant ants. The Thing from 1951 is number 4. James Arness played The Thing. The original The Day the Earth Stood Still with Michael Randy and Patricia Neal, made in 1951, is number 3. It's about a flying saucer landing in the mall in Washington, D.C. Right around the White House and the Capitol. I went and saw the remake with Keanu Reeves back in 2008. War of the Worlds with Gene Barry from 1953 is number 2. The number 1 sci-fi movie of the 1950s is Forbidden Planet with Leslie Nielsen. The 1990s song Dumas Walker by the Kentucky Headhunters is about a store in Tennessee owned by a man named Dumas Walker. So I'll go down to Dumas Walker's. He was a world champion marble player, and people would travel around for miles to see him play. But he was a bit crotchety and didn't like kids hanging around, as the song points out, saying there was a law in the town. He died in 1991, but did appear in a video of the song. Found a story in my Chicken Soup for the Soul book by a woman talking about what to name her family's new cat. Once I wanted to name the cat Britney Spears, another wanted to name it after a Japanese anime character. Mom wanted to name it Trouble, while Dad wanted to name it Cleopatra. So they had a vote, inviting their neighbors, family, and their kids' classmates to take part. In the end, Cleopatra was elected the name of the cat. The new Flash movie is out Friday with Michael Keaton returning as Batman. I still reading the book War Stories 2 by Oliver North. I'm on chapter 3, which is about the Bataan Death March. Thank you for listening, and have a good day. Hi, I'm Chris, and thank you for listening to my podcast, The Chris Carlisle Show. The Chris Carlisle Show is available on Spreaker, please leave a like and a review, and also a follow. It's also available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Podchaser, and Podcast Addict. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.